Has anyone ever given a nice guy a chance after they've thrown a tantrum because you didn't let them treat you like a queen? And if you did, how did it work out? I was the nice guy who got turned down for a second date. I said the same bullshit that any nice guy says when that happens. I.e., all women are the same. Say they want nice guys. Only date assholes. Etc. She said, well, fine. Let's have that second date, but doesn't it make you feel weird to have to convince someone to date you? Don't you want someone who wants to be with you? Me. Changed absolutely everything about dating for me. Yeah, it was my first and last Tinder date. I went to the guy's house. Figured it would be safe since he had 2 roommates. He'd lived with these roommates for 6 months, and when I asked him their names, he couldn't tell me. First red flag. I was like UHM. How? Any sane person would give some attempt to learn their roommates' names. It's not like he was in a basement suite. He shared many common areas with them. When I got there, his house was barely furnished. There was a large TV in the living room, and no seating whatsoever. He quickly scrambled upstairs to get to child-sized deck chairs and planted them in front of the TV. The TV was playing a movie that was mostly pun. Super inappropriate for a first date. I figured he was trying to get me horny. It just made me uncomfortable, as did the egg chair I didn't fit in. He promptly signaled for me to come sit on his lap. I figured it might be more comfortable than the chair I was in. At one point he went in for a kiss, and I thought, what the heck? Might as well try to enjoy myself. It was awful. All I could feel were his teeth and his lizard tongue punching my uvula. I actually had to hold back gags. After that I waited about 15 minutes before signaling that I was going to leave, mostly to preserve his feelings. So after the date I messaged him saying I couldn't see a second date happening. I was as nice as humanly possible. He lost it. You're just a whore. Didn't want you anyways. Now you are showing your true colors. And then switched to, I love you though. I was going to bring you to Greece. He flip-flopped between those 2 states and called me, no answer, every 3 minutes, until I blocked him on everything. I deleted Tinder. I read uvula as vulva, and was wondering how bad he cold bean it was making you gag. Whoop. Finally my time to shine, I guess. In high school I briefly dated a nice guy, complete with an actual fedora in 2000, before they were really a thing. Thanks art school. I had been in a really horrible, abusive relationship with a guy in his 20s just before, and in fairness my nice guy then friend had been instrumental in helping me to realize how ducked up our vibe was and helping me to leave an objectively horrible situation. He then promptly swooped in and started pushing for romantic intimacy between us. He never actually declared feelings. He was never that straightforward about his own thoughts and desires. Just talked about the way I deserved to be treated like a queen. Obs, and made it clear he felt he was the only one who would give me that. Many of my friends were pushing for it as well. He was nice, after all, and my previous boyfriends had been so objectively awful. I felt a lot of obligation and kind of went along on autopilot. There was a lot of negotiation around anything asexual. I treat you so well. Don't you want to? From him, and I know you want to treat me like a lady, so you'll be okay to take it slow from me. One of the hardest parts was that he clearly wasn't out to hurt me or to duck me. The asexual acts between us, we never slept together, but did other things that seemed like a huge deal to teenaged me, were only a demonstration. Proof that I loved him. That was what he wanted. But I didn't. And I really thought that meant there was something wrong with me. In the end, I only lasted about a month. He decorated my locker, brought flowers, and left notes for me taped to my desk in each of my classes to celebrate our ducking 1-month anniversary. I was mortified. My math teacher caught a good look at my face before I managed to plaster a smile back on as I opened the note he had left in her class. She asked me to stay back after for what turned out to be one of the most important talks in my life. Mrs. Brown. Just the best. I felt panicked, telling her over and over how happy and lucky I was. She kept asking questions until I burst into tears and it all just came out. I don't really remember what all she said, but I remember her saying it's okay to be alone. She said it over and over. Like Robin Williams going "It's not your fault" in Good Will Hunting. And soon enough I was. I broke up with him, kindly but firmly. And about 5 different times before he accepted it. He cried. He got angry. Absurdly. Insanely. His mom called my mom, who dropped the hammer on her in a way I haven't seen before or since. I took a ton of shit at school for breaking his heart and ruining his life, but I felt so free that I didn't really mind. I dated around, but didn't have a boyfriend again until I was 21. It was truly okay and important and necessary to be alone. I'm super curious why his mom would call, and also what your mom said. Seems like a very interesting conversation lol. My mom finally spilled the tea on this several years later over beers at my wedding shower. I think it was part of a conversation where she and my mother-in-law expressed mutual appreciation that each other were normal, rational human beings. Apparently, nice guy's mom tried to get mine to see reason and realize how lucky I was to have someone as promising as her son take an interest in me, given that I was a child of mixed circumstances. We both assume this is a reference to some combination of our blended family, my mom being young and unmarried when I was born, and the significant income gap between our families. My mom replied that she considered the fact that I had learned to walk away from something that wasn't right for me as a badge of honor, and she liked to think that the mixed circumstances of our blended household had given me a template to hold out for what I really wanted. Every time she said mixed circumstances it came out in a bit of a snarl. It was great. My wife did while she was in college. He had constant low self-esteem which annoyed her. He also loved making fun of other people. Sounds like he was just a toxic guy. When she broke up with him, he wrote a suicide note naming her as a reason and showed up on campus with a gun. Fortunately nothing happened. He got some therapy and wasn't allowed back at the school. A girlfriend told me that when she was still new to dating, she gave a nice guy a shot. They were in different states, and after weeks of owing him a sexy picture or video she agreed to FaceTime him with a wink-wink agreement that things might get steamy. The day comes and this 300 pounds unwashed dude called her 190 pounds, 5 feet 6, nice, but bigger than he liked, and suggested she start working out. He then pushed for an in-person visit near him so that he could show her the wonders of carnal things. She ghosted him shortly after that. My sister did. She is a hairstylist, and one of her clients was very aggressive about asking her out. He repeatedly bought flowers, concert tickets, and other gifts which he brought to her at work, and she said no each time because he seemed a little off. He got in a car accident and was really badly injured, and she felt sorry for him, so she went out with him finally. They dated a few months before breaking up. I don't know the exact reason why, but after that he started stalking her. It's been over 5 years since then, and he is still keeping tabs on her. She's reported him to the police multiple times, has a restraining order, and has blocked him on FB/everywhere else. But every few months he finds a way to contact her. So if you get weird vibes from someone, don't give them a chance or you might end up with a lifelong stalker like my sister has. Yes, I did once, and I wish I didn't. He wasn't a nice guy after all. He treated me like I was the ugly one. I never felt more shitty in my whole life than when I was with him. I should have known. Lesson learned and you're better off. I dated one for 2 years. He seemed nice and was happy when I first started dating him cause girls didn't give him a chance due to his looks. He was super nerdy. I was 16 and he was 19. He was very needy and always demanded we do what he wanted. I missed out on a lot of things, including missing out going to see Phantom of the Opera with his mom, because he didn't want to go and would get sick at the last minute. When I lost my virginity to him, he said I basically raped him because he didn't realize he wasn't ready for something like that till after we had sex. About 1.5 years into our relationship he got religious. So then, whenever we had sex, he would want is to pray for forgiveness afterwards. But if I refused sex, I was a cold bitch. I actually left him for a female partner. I'm bi, and that's when I realized that it was a super unhealthy relationship. Edit. Holy shitty. Thanks for all of the upvotes. I did not think this would blow up like it did. Never have I ever heard of someone praying after sex. That's like serial killer shitty. Glad you're okay. Like this video and this good boy will be your mailman forever. We are Redditation. And we Redditate every day. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. Until then, check another video. Or don't. Either way, have a wonderful day you magnificent people.